Because I just want to bury Appetite. It's like, I like the album, but I'm sick of it. I don't want to live my life through that one album. I have to bury it. So.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Guns N' Roses Central. And I think we all got to talk about the elephant in the room and the big news from last week, and that is that Dizzy Reed did an interview where he said that Axl is one of the funniest people he knows. I'm just joking, guys. We all got to talk about the announcement of Appetite for Destruction being remastered and the ridiculous price that's being asked for the Locked and Loaded edition. So I'm not going to rehash everything that was announced. I'll just give you guys the Cold Notes version or the Cliff Notes version of the different bundles and where you guys can pre-order from. So let's take a look at that right now. So Guns N' Roses have announced multiple different bundles you can buy for the remastering or reissue of Appetite for Destruction. And the one that really made the big news, and here I'm going to just change it to the US prices because most of the viewers are American. So there's a number of different SKUs that you can buy. Let's just change it here, guys. There we go. So there's a number of different SKUs you can buy, and the one that caused the most outrage was the Locked and Loaded edition, which retails for $999, which I've done the math, and that's more than my mortgage payment is per month, so it's kind of ridiculous. But you get a lot of different things. You get a total of 4 CDs, plus you get 7 vinyl discs for each of those singles that came out from Appetite, as well as GNR Lies. And then you get a bunch of, tchotchkes, some skull rings. You get some lapel pins, some temporary tattoos. So that one there's only 10,000 copies of the Locked and Loaded edition. I know a couple people who've already pre-ordered their Locked and Loaded edition. The one that probably a lot of people are going to get is the Super Deluxe edition, which retails for $179.99 US or $179 US. And that one, you still get a ton of stuff. You get 4 CDs. You don't get those vinyls. However, you do get a Blu-ray disc. You get some lithographs, and you get some, other stuff like ticket stubs from the old days and that kind of stuff. Then there's the $35.98 version, which features 2 LPs. And then there's also a simple $20 version, which is just 2 CDs of Appetite remastered. So that one you get the remastered edition of Appetite, plus you get some of the B-sides and some of the stuff from the EPs and Sound City studio sessions as well. And then if you just want to keep it simple, you can get the remastered Appetite for Destruction version, which is just $13.98. They've also released some clothing. There's Locked and Loaded long sleeve t-shirts and Shadow of Your Love. There's a $35 t-shirt for men, and then there's also one for women as well, and the long sleeve tee is $45. I think it's a ripoff, to be honest, but I think I'll probably get the $179 SKU for now, but who knows, maybe I'll change my mind in the future. So in addition to that, Guns N' Roses also released a lyric video for Shadow of Your Love, which is up on YouTube, and you guys can go check it out. According to Slash's girlfriend Megan, that song was not re-recorded, or no guitars were added to it. That's the original song that they remastered. So this is one for the rumor mill. So Guns N' Roses, we know, are touring Europe this summer in the month of June and July. But Yarmo, who's an employee of Guns N' Roses and runs the fan site Here Today Gone to Hell, posted something interesting on Facebook. He said, something some might have missed from the Appetite for Destruction Locked and Loaded press release. He said the band's ongoing success of the Not in Its Lifetime worldwide tour has now snagged the 4th spot on the most successful tours in music history, blah, blah, blah. The next leg of the highly successful and anticipated world tour continues in Europe in June and July 2018, and from what we hear on into the fall. So some people know that Slash is going to be releasing his upcoming record with Myles Kennedy supposedly this fall, and he's already scheduled 2 festivals they're going to be playing. So I wonder if this is the case that Guns are going to be touring in the fall. How's it going to work with Slash and the Conspirators schedule? So let's go on to our next news story. So there's a lot of reasons to be happy and be a Guns N' Roses fan this past week, and we had another reason that may have slipped under your guys' radar. So Guns N' Roses did their Use Your Illusion tour in the early 90s. One of the markets they played in during the Skin and Bones tour was Saskatoon. So as part of the Skin and Bones tour, they were trying to play smaller markets that typically wouldn't get a Guns N' Roses show. Like they played South Dakota, I think. They played Saskatoon. They played a number of other small markets. So the Saskatoon show from March of 93 has leaked, apparently. The Pro Shot concert leaked. So a Japanese company posted it for sale, and it looks like at least one Guns N' Roses fan has paid almost $300 for the Pro Shot concert. So 2 clips of it are already leaked on YouTube. So the full song My Michelle played live, which they didn't really play My Michelle a whole lot on the Use Your Illusion tour, especially in 92 and 93, is available to watch on YouTube. I've linked to it down below. And a little snippet of Mr. Brownstone from the concert is also up on YouTube. So there was only ever an audience recording. It was just an audio recording of the concert that was incomplete, that existed for a long time, but now we finally will have pro shop footage in the coming weeks. Once the full concert goes live, guys, I will let you guys know when it's available to watch in its entirety. Also, according to Fernando, and it's hard to see whether he was joking or not, but one of the 10,000 locked and loaded bundles may have a golden ticket or special kind of ticket in it. So in other news, it looks like, and this hasn't been confirmed, but Alice Cooper's got an upcoming album that's supposed to feature Axl Rose, Slash, and Izzy Stradlin. So Zachary Navel, who was with Alice Cooper, posted this on Twitter. He said, with Alice Cooper, the new album features appearances by Axl Rose, Izzy Stradlin, and Slash, and Hollywood Vampires as well. So it's not clear as to whether these are just old songs that were being remastered or reissued, because Axl did sing on Under My Wheels, at least a re-recording of it, and Slash did appear on the 2008 song Vengeance Is Mine that was also released for the video game Rock Band. Now, I don't quite remember if Izzy recorded anything with Alice Cooper, but if you remember about a year ago, John Mellencamp put out a record of like some old songs, and Izzy was featured on one of those old songs that Izzy played on back in like 91 or 92. And Slash recently on Instagram posted a photo of Alice Cooper, but it was also Alice Cooper's birthday not too long ago as well. So turning now to Slash's other project outside of Guns N' Roses, his upcoming album with Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators, it appears that the next album is finished and in the can. So according to an interview that Myles Kennedy gave recently, he was talking to a radio station in Detroit. He said, we just finished a record. Actually, I just finished my vocals for it last week, so there's another record in the can. It'll probably come out later this year. Also, Slash News on Twitter reported earlier this week that Slash has finished his guitar leads and overdubs on the upcoming album as well. So the rumored release date was that it was going to come out in September, according to a post that Megan did a while back. We also have a new Dizzy Reed interview. So for those of you who are new to our channel, we interviewed Dizzy Reed back in February. So if you guys want to check that out, just go search Dizzy Reed GNR Central and you'll find the interview we did with him. So we interviewed him about his new solo record that had came out at the time, Rock and Roll Ain't Easy, and he gave another interview promoting his solo record. In that interview, he talked about Guns N' Roses, and one of the questions he was asked is, when you joined Guns N' Roses, were you concerned about their reputation? To which he said, nah, I was right there with them. It didn't skip a beat with me, that shit. I was in a band called The Wild, and we lived up to our name. He said he couldn't really remember how wild the GNR tours were back in the early 90s, and he was asked whether Guns N' Roses were better without the drugs, and he said everybody's better without the drugs. He also revealed his favorite moments from the GNR catalog. He said that's Civil War from Use Your Illusion 2. He said because that was the first song I played on with the band, and it was the first time I heard myself on the radio. He was also asked about his relationship with Axl. He said he's a great person. He's one of the funniest people I know. Every night before we go on stage, he comes up and he'll have a joke, and it's usually a good one. And nobody works harder than that guy. He's always misrepresented in the press. It's kind of sad, really, what some people come up with just to sell things. He was also asked about how so many musicians have come and gone in GNR and what has enabled him to last so long. He said, I was given a great opportunity by Axl and the band when they were in the top of the heap. I just thought I wanted to give back. Whatever they need from me, they're going to get it. He was also asked whether he felt close to being fired in the band at any point. He said, no, I don't know if I've ever had that feeling, but if I'm effing up, someone's going to let me know. He also was asked, what is your biggest waste of money, or what's the thing you've spent the most money on or wasted? He said, I've never really had money to waste, to which the interviewer said, doesn't it pay well to be in GNR? And he said, it pays okay, but you know, I'm good with my money. I've got an ex-wife and 4 kids. He even revealed in that interview with Loudwire a couple of years ago before the reunion that he's still waiting for his big paycheck from GNR. So we have a new interview with Slash's son's band, Classless Act. They're going to be opening for Steven Adler's band at the Ride for Ronnie charity event, and then they're also going to be opening at the Whiskey A Go-Go concert on May 10th. So there was a short little interview done with them and their band members, and even Steven Adler was quoted in the interview too. So when Steven was asked about the band, he said, I love their music, shares Adler. It reminds me of a 21st century Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith, and Leonard Skinner. I just love all 3 of those bands, and they sound great. I'm a real rock and roller, and they're a real rock and roll band. I hope we get to do some more shows together. London was also interviewed, and he described it best, saying there isn't a feeling that compares to playing music with these guys. Every time we get into a room together, it's just so comfortable and natural. We all come together to make kick-ass rock and roll and have fun while doing it. It's such a raw experience I wouldn't trade for anything else. I love this band. And he said that the name came from Donald Trump. He said, I remember Donald Trump being called the Classless Act, and I immediately thought that would be a great band name, recalls Nico. It fits the sound. It's hard and heavy rock and roll that incorporates many flavors from many different styles of music. So if you guys want to read the rest of the interview, I've linked to it down below in the description box. Let's move on to our next news story for the week. So another piece of news we got this week is that Guns N' Roses appear to be teaming up with Bravado, who makes a lot of the band shirts. So they've got a new line of Appetite for Destruction t-shirts out. This was tweeted out on, I guess there's a store called Roar that has like a Japanese branch that they were showing some of those teasers for the Appetite for Destruction remastering announcement, and they showed some of the new Appetite for Destruction shirts that are coming out.